smart devices, dumb students, and exam cheating. Welcome to Mark and Pete. Yes, the traditional exam cheat just wrote equations on his cuff, but now we've got all this fancy technology. Oh, woe is us in the modern world. Yes, this is Mark and Pete, two blokes with half an opinion. Now, here's our first thought.
Upon closer examination, if you deceive adjudicators in an exam by using smart devices from off the shelf, the process becomes a complete sham and you're only cheating yourself. Yes, well, that may be the case, but there is an increasing amount of usage of smart technology for students in exams. Yes, they are cheating. And this is concerning many examining regulators across the country. Well, Mr. Pete, I know that you, being a teacher, have to adjudicate, you have to scrutinize, you have to even educate teachers as well as students to consider fair play. But what say you about this use of devices? And the reason I highlight that is that there was a time when many people couldn't use a calculator in an exam, and then it was encouraged. So what say you about the use of mobile phones and smart devices to cheat and hoodwink the examiner?
Well, here's the thing. It was inevitable, wasn't it? As soon as there's another method, there'll be more cheating. I particularly struck by the smart glasses, use of smart
Yes.
glasses to cheat, because I mean, you could try and ban them, but there could be the claim, well, I need them to see, I don't have another pair. You know, it's you could see the problems. Having been an invigilator in exams, yeah, every sort of clever deception is used. Now, there's a lot of use of extra time for people who are dyslexic or have other issues, and they need extra time. And you could imagine people claiming, it may be fairly, but for claiming that they need the smart glasses for some reason to help them, and then abusing it by having the answers sent to them. You know, this is inevitable that it should happen, but I don't think it shouldn't be beyond the wit of the people who run our examinations to come up with ways of blocking such technology. You would have thought, anyway. So I don't think in the long term it should be a problem. There should be ways around it. Oh, yes, you could just not allow smart glasses, but you could have ways of detecting them. I'm sure there are ways of not allowing any internet in the room by blocking it.
Yes.
There should be ways of doing it. So I don't think it is the problem. My own personal view, however, Mark, is that there's two things I would say on this. One is, well, you should have enough integrity not to cheat in the first place. Just saying, cheating
Yes.
is a problem. Proverbs 10 verse 9 said, "He that walks uprightly walks surely, but he that perverts his ways shall be known." Yes, it'll all come out in the end. So you're better off having integrity. Really, it makes things a lot less complicated. But also, I would say in exams, maybe there's a different way. Maybe the wit I was thinking about here, the ingenuity, will enable us to come up with a different way of assessing how good people are at a certain subject. There were already many alternatives available to exams.
Oh, well, indeed. Well, let's come on to some of the techniques because, according to data from Ofqual, well, you're right, smart glasses have been used, but ironically, hidden earpieces, even really advanced pens with built in screens, it's almost like something from James Bond, isn't it? Just simply to get through an exam. Ironically, I don't know, it's just a novel idea. Learning the subject might be an idea. But the fact is that Ofqual figures shows there is a trend. According to figures last summer, over 2,225 cases involved mobile phones and smart devices. 545 cases resulted in students being disqualified from some or all of their qualifications. And there were 1,240 cases leading to a loss of marks in some form. Basically, it seems that our young people, the young generation, seem to be finding more ways of trying to cheat their way through the exam than actually
Yeah,
learning the subject. Now, it, I do
yes,
understand here that there is another technique. I'm not suggesting that people do this, but it has happened as well, which is somebody else takes the exam for you.
yeah.
Meaning it's it's a doppelganger or somebody who just comes in and looks like you, but has the knowledge. But as a teacher, this must be quite soul destroying when you see that this is going to happen. What's your say from the professional side of the of
Yeah,
education?
well, the thing is, it is very dispiriting to have to treat your students as if they're criminals or potential criminals. So
Yes.
it is quite dispiriting. Um, I mean, there is always the temptation because even a hard-bitten teacher like myself develops a soft spot for my own students and want them to succeed. So, yeah, I do want them desperately to succeed. I want them to do well. Sometimes, when you've been teaching in the same school, you've actually taught them from when they enter the school up until these public examination times. You've been teaching them for years, so you want them to do well. But you also want them to be good people. You know, you see them develop as humans, and then to see them, especially if you actually catch someone out, it's very, very disappointing. Now, the fact that there's two reactions, though, just to give the human reaction to this sort of technology. Yeah, you really don't want people cheating, but actually, if you can't catch them out, it's actually quite a relief that that it's difficult to detect them. It's actually quite a relief that you don't have to confront them. Just got to say, makes life a bit easier. But the the problem is not going to go away just so long as exams are there. As there is the main way that we assess. Now, coursework is coming in, and so assessment as you're working with the ongoing work during the course. But of course, the problem with that is another area of technology, AI written essays, etc., do really muddy the waters there. So um, it doesn't solve the whole problem
No.
by doing that. So my suggestion is a mixture of the two, uh,
Well,
sometimes done anyway,
yes.
which is that you have people doing the equivalent of open book exams. Well, no, open book exams, not the equivalent of. So you can use all the resources you want. So it's not an exam in that sense, um, but you can't use AI because you're being watched as you do the exam. So that's my suggestion going
Well,
forward.
I have another suggestion as well. I don't know how practical it is, but I'll put it to you in a minute. But Sir Ian Balcom, who is the chief regulator of Ofqual, has said that basically there were numerous reports and attempts to try and cheat, and increasing sophisticated devices gain an unfair advantage. So, to your point, there are different ways of examining people, students. And I wonder whether, to your point, the open book approach is one approach. There's coursework, which is another. There's the individual teacher's assessment. But what about spot examining, meaning that you
Ah,
don't
yeah,
know
no,
when you're
that's very
going
good.
to
Yeah,
be when you don't know when you're going to be tested, but you know you're going to be tested at a certain period of time within, say, a term time, like a 3 month period.
yeah.
Now, what that can do is, yes, it's possible that people could still have smart glasses, but usually when people are preparing for an exam, they're preparing with their smart glasses and they're preparing their devices. Whereas if they don't have them, if they're not ready, then they either know the subject or they don't. So I don't know whether you think that that is
No,
one option to add
I
into the mix.
I think yes, I think something to add into the mix. I don't think you can just have that
No, no, sure.
because there are some things you do need to prepare for
Of course.
specifically. But no, that would be that adding that into the mix would be another way. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. So yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you heard it first on Mark and Pete.
Well, indeed. Well,
Well, see,
I
I
know
mean,
them.
something like that could be introduced. I mean, uh, the that concept is already there for when Ofcom are
Correct.
not Ofcom, Ofsted are checking whether the teaching's been done correctly. So you could see that just being used in checking whether the students are learning correctly.
Yes. And I wonder, folks, whether this is a way of re-examining the world that we're in to sort of get away from outsmarting, dare I say, the smart device.